Hello Internet, I'm back with some more Gunpla. As you can see by the ridiculous upside down shooting everything pose, this is the high grade Cosmic Era Freedom Gundam. This is technically a revival version, though the original Freedom was not released under the high grade Cosmic Era banner, it was just the Gundam Seed line. And they've previously done a renewal version of, revival. Renewal is Figuarts, because those words mean different things apparently. No, they don't. Anyway, they previously did versions of the Strike Gundam and Strike Rouge as an easy repaint. So we shall see if they continue doing newer high-grade kits, Justice or Impulse, or Destiny. I could see all those being remade next. Yeah, we're gonna, go do the usual spiel about this kit. I just wanted to pose it in this ridiculous upside-down firing pose because I always found that really stupid and really hilarious looking in the show. Actually, he might not have done it until Destiny, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, give me a second. I'll reorient things to be not upside down. Okay, here we are back with the Freedom in a more normal pose. As per usual, there's no paint or panel lining or anything done to the kit. Just stickers. Save one exception in this case, but the main stickers you're going to see are the red stripe on this plasma cannon, and I didn't get it close enough so you can see a bit of white under there, and then the red tip of the railgun and the back of the railgun. But I believe everything else... Whoopsie, there goes the fin. Oh, and this back piece right here. But I believe everything else is just the plastic color. There we go, knocking. So here's the thing about Freedom Gundams, is they have a lot of little moving bits that make their kits kind of nightmarish to actually pose. I'm going to show off the real grade in a moment, and it's even worse. But the one exception with the paint is much like the revival of the RX-78-2. Sorry for the sudden color shift. It has this the clear yellow eye piece with reflective stickers behind it. I just lined in with a Gundam marker behind that, so hopefully it's showing off pretty well. But yeah, just you get a nice little reflective effect. It's not the best thing to show up on camera, but it works. Getting into posability. And again, this is kind of difficult to show given that it has wings and giant guns on the sides of its body. You've got some shoulder movement. You can go up that like that, and then rotate it. So pretty good there. Moves out that far, and then you can get it straight out with moving the shoulder. Double jointed elbows, just let it do that. Of course, a swivel as well. Ball jointed hand, it is pretty standard for high grade articulation. You have the standard, double ball jointed neck on these. So waist, you got some good crunching. I should probably just remove the wings really to show this off, but some good forward back, and then some side to side on the waist. Hips, you can go out about that much due to the railguns. If you remove them or something, or move them out of the way, you can get more, obviously, but then it's not Freedom Gundam. You can go forward fully, that much. Back, not as much. Knee can double joint bend, and then you got a toe, and then you've got the ankle. Works pretty good. So overall, decent. The main hindrance is the railguns, and again, this is all kind of tricky to work around because you got the wings. In fact, the wings articulate forward and back, and there's waving thing there. This is without opening them up. Opening them, you've got basically two sets of these 4 that open up independently, so you can do that, and this one kind of hides the plasma cannon. If you're looking at it from the back, it's just kind of sitting there, but yeah, there's no, like, I would assume, I've never built the Masquerade, but I would guess it would separate all of these. I could be wrong. The real Raid, I think, has this kind of same separation, with one exception. Namely, actually, the real Raid, this part can kind of split to have more of an effect. That doesn't happen on this kit. If you split this part, it's just going to kind of come off. But like I said, it's good movement. You get some nice poses, and splaying the wings out, you know, however you wish. It's a good effect. I always liked Freedom Gundam because of these wings. There's an old PlayStation game called Xenogears, and it kind of reminded me of the main final robot from that game, if you ever played it. And then moving the plasma cans is a bit tricky, but it does this thing where they pop out and then they are on a hinge. So you can do this. Thing is if you move the back half of the wings up too far, it will start to want to kind of close in, and the head will hinder it, if that makes sense. So basically, you kind of got to be tactical in how you position the cannons. Like if you, because the joint here is just on the front of this, but the back joint is kind of attached to this, so as it goes in, yeah, you can see what I'm saying. Presses against that. Also, this bit's a bit loose on mine, but tighten that up with some nail polish or whatever. And there goes the beam saber. And the railgun unfolds like this. You do have to be a bit straight out. You do have to be a bit precise putting it back in to make sure everything lines up properly. And there goes the V-fin again. So yeah, I like the Freedom Gundam. Actual kits of it are kind of annoying. Just because there's a lot of stuff on it. Okay. One other thing is, and this is kind of, I never saw it do this in the show, but the kits all have it, is the railguns have a little handle that pops out on the side, so you could have it doing this should you choose. Again, I don't recall it doing it on the show. The railguns just kind of seem to deploy and fire on their own. Which made sense given it's all controlled by the robot rather than a trigger, but that's reverse. And there it goes. Yeah, like I said, it pose it and then leave it, or pose it very carefully, because it does kind of like to fall apart, but it doesn't break. It just falls apart. Once I get this thing done, I'm just going to glue the frickin' V-fin on, though. The strikes is the same way. It doesn't peg in very tightly. Anyway, give me a second to get this thing back together. I'll move on to accessories. Okay, now that this thing's in one piece again, accessory-wise, you do have the Lupus beam rifle, Bane of Dr. House. We'll just you need to remove the you just need to remove the hand, slap it in there, and remove the forearm guard of the hand. Sorry, slap it in there, and you're good to go to shoot whatever heads and limbs off of robots you want, because Kira does not kill. You also have the shield. Oh, I'm sorry. This red bit here is also a sticker. I forgot about that one. Everything else, though, is painted plastic, including this red part. This part is the other part that annoys me. It just kind of slides into the hand, whereas other kits, I believe even the old high grade from when Seed was airing, had it peg onto the arm, which held a bit more securely, because this tends to like flop down if you're moving it around, or actually sometimes even fall out. So it's a minor nitpick. And then, of course, aside from the mounted weapons that I already showed off, we have the Gundam's ever trusty side-mounted beam sabers. You gotta stand up, okay. So it's neat that they mount on the side. As you've probably seen, they like to fall off. You do, of course, have a couple of blades which are shared by the high-grade RX-78-2 Gundam Revival and several other things. They felt a little long on the Gundam, less so on this, because I kind of remember it having long beam sabers, and it can also, thanks to these little, let's see if I can show this off a bit better. Focus. These little clips here, you just do that, and you've got the Darth Maul style double blade saber. And I'm just going to leave them down there because that's the other problem, is the wings make them pretty back heavy. And you just, stick one or both hands on it. And he can go about killing Liam Neeson Jedi Gundams all he wants. Also, with the beam rifle, on the back there's a handy dandy peg hole that lets you plug that in. So there is him in melee mode. I'm going to leave him like this for now to show off a comparison with the aforementioned Real Grade Freedom. And like proportion wise, they are pretty similar. The Real Grade, obviously a ton more detail, much better coloring. There are no stickers on this save for the eyes, which in this case are just a shiny gold. But the issue I have with this one is, like, this one I've kind of been knocking things off as I've been messing with it. This one I'm afraid to even look at, lest it fall apart in my hand. But I will show off what I was talking about with the wings. You can do, like, by default, does that, but with the Real Grade you can, let's see if this should... Of course, you can't actually hide the cannons like this. Basically, you have articulation on these pieces as well. So you can basically end up with 10 separate wing designs as opposed to just 8 on this. 14 as opposed to... I'm doing a real good job counting. 14 as opposed to 10. So, yeah, it's a different look. But, like I said, this one, especially the wing assembly, actually does not hold together very well. And just in general, I'm not big on the whole Real Grade thing. I think this is the only one I own. I just bought it to kind of try the line out, and I'm not a fan, so I probably won't really get any more unless they do something really interesting to me. Though again, it looks nice, and in both these cases, they have issues standing up. So in conclusion, with the Freedom Gundam back on a stand to prevent it from falling over, it does just look better flying. And you don't have to worry about the back heaviness of it. This is a good version of the Freedom Gundam if you're after a 1/144th scale one. I would personally go with it over the Real Grade. And I would definitely go with it over the original Seed kit. I own that one. I was unable to find it. It's in a box somewhere. But I'm just going to be honest with you, it is not a good kit. I didn't even like it back in 2003 when it came out. There's no color separation. The cannons only have the forward and back movements, so you can't really get a proper pose for it. I would, like I said, I wasn't crazy about it. Anyway, so that's the look at the Freedom. Again, I hope they, continue the revival line for some older kits. Seed had some good designs, regardless of the quality of the show. Same with Seed Destiny, definitely regardless of the quality of the show. So I'd like to see them redone, particularly like Destiny, Gundam, Impulse, and then some of the more obscure things, though that's less and less likely. Anyway, that will be all of this for now. So until next time, strength alone, will alone, go sleep in separate beds with your pink-haired idle girlfriend. And Kigali is crying.